Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here. And today, well, you're doing it again, art department. You are hard carrying. So, I gotta do something first, and, headphone users, beware. Yeah! Art department! Yeah! You were warned. It is that good, guys. So, today, Thursday, the 25th? Yeah, Thursday the 25th, the PTS client has updated for the game. And on the PTS client is currently, 10.2, where they have introduced this graphics. This is, I think, it's not a complete overhaul. It's just a lot of the small details have been improved and updated. And there are also some big details that have been improved and updated too. It's like just almost to the threshold of an overhaul of the game's graphics, but like the graphic engine hasn't been changed. It's just that they've improved a lot of these effects. So in the background, some of these effects will be playing, and some clips highlighting them will be playing as well while I talk about. I'm just noticing too in port too. I gotta capture this real quick. I didn't realize this, but in port, even there's smoke coming out of the smokestack. That is cool. I didn't even notice that before. I thought it was just the port because it put me back in the Dragon port. But no, there's smoke coming out of the smokestacks of my Missourian port. That is so cool. Alright. Anyway, yeah, so the effects in game. These are the effects that I talked about in a dev blog some time ago. And it is improvements to muzzle flashes, shell tracers. The lighting's been overhauled. I think they said just about every map now, I do believe it's every map now, has the new dynamic lighting, which is absolutely freaking gorgeous, y'all. Like, I cannot, like, you can see for yourselves, but it is beautiful, guys. I record and upload in 4K, and if you got a 4K monitor, you're watching some 4K device, this is the video to watch in 4K, y'all. The lighting's been improved. I believe the anti-aliasing has been improved as well, so the ship models look a little bit better if you got your anti-aliasing turned up. There are now, oh man, water's coming out. Okay, you should have seen that on the clip of the ship in port too. Water's coming out of the drains on the ship too. That is, again, so cool they added in those effects. I know those effects were added in when the flooding effects were improved, but just doing it in port's pretty cool. Anyway. So, muzzle flashes, the shock waves when you fire the guns over the water now. They're there on every gun in the game, from small caliber to up to larger caliber guns. And obviously, the larger caliber guns you go, the bigger the shockwave and the bigger the effect. The smoke particles, y'all, they've improved them so much. Before, they were kind of like 2D effects that were like kind of, well crafted to kind of look 3D. But now it's proper smoke particles, and it looks so good, y'all. I can't believe they've managed to pull this off. And plus, there is no hit on the performance of the game at all. In fact, it's actually improved. During my playtesting of this, I only had my frames drop once, and it was when a lot of stuff was going on screen. There's a lot of particle effects, a lot of explosions, and it only dropped from 76 down to like 59. So not really noticeable, since the game's capped at 76 unless you go in and uncap it. I'm sure if I uncap it, probably wouldn't even drop that much at all. What else? Oh, the AA effects have been improved. The guns now just rotate when they're just not even being used. It's kind of like they're searching the skies and scanning the skies for targets, which is absolutely freaking awesome looking. And I know it's not that big of a change. It's just that it's these little details that they're improving that just brings more life into the game. The game looks more animated. There's even more detail, and like, this game's already pretty darn well detailed for a free-to-play game. I mean, like, some AAA games don't have this much detail on their main focus, but they've really just gone above and beyond with this overhaul. Also, the AA effects themselves, the flak pops, the shells going into the sky, the tracers look great. I played in a training room too, so like all this footage of me, like, being distracted by the new effects and stuff, that's all just in a training room. I didn't go into randoms with this on the PT server. the shell tracers, the flak explosions, that's all been improved. And there's also muzzle flashes now on the AA guns. Every AA gun has a muzzle flash, which again is just awesome. And I've said it before, I'm a guy that really likes graphics, and I like when, you know, my beefy PC can actually get a chance to stretch its legs and make games look good. And they've really brought World of Warships into like 2020 and 2021 now with these updates. And of course, there's more they can improve on, of course, but this is a huge step in the right direction of the graphics of the game. And I've been talking about this for some time too, that I wanted them to do this because, you know, the game looked good for a game from 2015, but you know we're in 2021 now, so they need to start improving these graphics. And I'm so glad they've started. And obviously, you know, some of the older ship models, they need to go in and retexture those. But again, I gotta give credit where credit is due, and art department again is just hitting it out of the park here. And there's some other small details they've added in too. There's pilots now. When you shoot down enemy planes, there's a chance that a pilot will bail out, and you'll see his parachute and you see him falling down. And it's not just like a black silhouette, like he's actually modeled and detailed. Like, man's got a face and everything, and a jumpsuit and everything. You see his buckle and his harnesses. It's like, wow, like that is awesome. And it starts to give us a sense of scale to these ships. Like I mentioned it with the Puerto Rico, the Odin, and the Anchorage, and the Hisn Dockyard event. You know, when they put the little figurines on the deck, it's like, dang, these ships are big. It's easy to forget playing this game that these ships are absolutely massive. And I said that too in the Real Still videos when I went to the real life museum ships. It's like, wow, you know, I got so used to seeing, you know, the Iowa in game that when I went to the Wisconsin in Virginia, it was like, oh dang, this thing's freaking massive. And it's like, well, no duh, it's massive. It's an Iowa class battleship. And again, it's just those little touches. Oh, and the planes have new death animations. You know, they spiral, they spew out smoke and stuff. And again, it's all the new smoke effects and new particle effects. It looks good. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but before, the game would kind of, you know, cheat when you were staring down your sights. It would stop rendering the smoke from your smokestack and the water effects around your ship. So far, it seems that it doesn't do that anymore, and now it's just constantly rendering that out, which is great. It gives you so much more immersion into the game. And if you have a ship with a high-res texture, so something like the Missouri or the Yamian, or one of the newer ships, you know, something that's not a Montana or an Iowa or a ship that was like, you know, within the first 2 years of the game coming out, and they've got all that really nice detail, you know, you can see through the bridge windows and stuff. Just looking at the lighting and watching the lighting coming through those windows and stuff, it's amazing. I'm gonna get killed so much when this goes live, and I can just look at this on the live server with all my ships. And if you can go to the PT server right now, guys. That's another thing too. This isn't some super secret test that like only certain people can get into. This is on the public test server, y'all. So I highly encourage y'all to go ahead and download the PT client. You can just do it from the Wargaming Center launcher. Just hit download additional instance and then click on the PT client and download that if you got the space on your hard drive, and give it a whirl, guys. It looks absolutely amazing. It's really, really, really one thing that this game needed. I know there's going to be people saying, oh, well, they need to fix the balance of the game. Yes, absolutely they do. But this is nice. And plus, I don't think the artists doing this are the guys that are making the balancing decisions either. So don't lose your mind over this. But this was something that was very sorely needed. And I know one of the big things is like when comparing War Thunder and World of Warships is that the models in War Thunder and the lighting and the, you know, all the effects are a bit better. This is taking World of Warships closer and closer to that level of detail that we get in War Thunder. And War Thunder is still, you know, I've got back into a little bit. You guys have been noticing with the Sunday videos. You know, War Thunder Naval is still like, you know, it's better because there's more ships there now and they're getting a chance to flesh out their lines. But, you know, World of Warships, they still just, they struck balance and they struck gold with the balance they managed to get with the mechanics in World of Warships. And that's one thing that I said, you know, War Thunder looks better, but World of Warships plays better. But now we're getting to the point to where World of Warships, if we keep going on this path, is going to start to look better too. And again, guys, no performance drop. And there's no increase in demand either from your rig. So whatever you were running at before, you should be able to run it with these new settings in place. So That's awesome. Oh, also, I can't believe I almost forgot to talk about this. When you pop Damage Con or Repair Party, there's effects now for that too. When you pop Damage Con, you can see if you're flooding, the water starts to get pumped out of your ship, and all those effects are new. And like some lights come on and they flash. It looks really, really cool. And if you got a fire, you hear the fire extinguisher noise, and you start to see steam and smoke coming from where that fire used to be. And, you know, it's like they're actually putting it out. And when you hit Repair Party, there's now like welding sparks coming from the holes where you got hit in your ship. And it's like, wow, that again, that's more immersion. It gives you the idea that they're actually doing something, that your crew's doing something to put out the fire and fix your ship. Plus, there's new shell effects too. When you hit a target, these explosions look really, really, really cool. And when you get a Citadel hit on a target, you now know for sure that that's a Citadel, in addition to the ribbon. But there's this bigger explosion effect too, that when you Citadel an enemy ship, and again, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And also the what was it that I was gonna say? Oh yeah, the torpedoes have a new effect too now. The water particles and the bubble trails they leave, they look much, much better. And God, what was I going to talk about? I can't believe I forgot what I was going to talk about. Oh yeah, the explosions when the ships die now, they are so much better. There was one time when I was fighting a King George V, and we sunk him, and like I had to sit and look for a second at the explosion, because you got to see the shock wave of his magazine. I'm assuming his magazine being detonated. It caused the water to be disturbed. You got to see it spread out from the water. You saw the effect, and then the fire and the smoke that shot up after that. Gorgeous, just absolutely gorgeous. And we're working on a new project for the channel, and I am so glad that this is coming out in the next patch, because it's going to look so much better with all these effects. Oh, and the smoke screen effects got overhauled too. It looks a lot better too. Like, there's so much. I probably forgot to talk about some of it, but guys, download the PT. Go try this for yourself. It's wonderful. And I know, again, hasn't fixed any of the issues with the game, none of the balancing issues or anything, but it looks so much better. And again, art department, you guys are doing the Lord's work. Keep it up, and let's just crush the War Thunder if you continue this direction. But yes, continue it. It looks beautiful. Thank you guys so much for your hard work, because I know this had to take quite some time to get this out of this engine and overhaul all these effects. So again, keep going, art department. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. I will be live streaming right here on the channel and on Twitch tonight from 5 p.m. U.S. Central Time to 8 p.m. U.S. Central Time. Not 10 p.m. Why do I keep saying 10 p.m.? Anyway, 8 p.m. U.S. Central Time. So come check us out here on the channel and on Twitch. Link to that is in the description down below. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.